Welcome. I'm Phyllis. Today I have two gentle somatic moves that are really going to help release your muscles around hips and low back. You'll be amazed at how these gentle movements can help release muscles. So join me now as we get started lying on our back. Just get yourself comfortable, maybe a support underneath your head. And then your legs can be bent or straight. Sometimes if you take your legs straight out, it might feel a little straining on your low back. So feel free to just keep them bent then. Take your arms out by your side and just take a moment here and notice how your body feels as you lie here. Notice any parts that feel stiff or tight. And then bring your awareness to your hips. Notice your hips from left to right. If it feels like there's any difference from one side to the other. Notice your low back. Notice if there's space underneath your low back. And then notice your shoulders left to right. Do they feel like they both touch the ground evenly? Maybe one feels a little different than the other. And then take the legs, we're going to bend them again and have the feet flat onto the floor. And then take the arms out by your side. We're going to start with the right side. We're going to press down into that right foot. As you press down into that right foot, you'll feel yourself tip over onto the left a little bit. Knees stay facing straight up. And then that right hip starts to lift up a little bit. Feel the muscles around the back of the leg and the glutes contracting, maybe even the back. And then just smoothly release that hip down. Nice and smooth. Can you do it as slow as you can and then completely let go? We'll do that again. This time we're going to add on. So pressing that right foot down. Feel the right hip lift. Notice there's pressure on the left hip. The left hip is sinking down. And this time we're going to take that right shoulder, press it down as the palm faces upward, and then as if you're going to press that shoulder in towards the spine. And then the head can turn to the right as well. So now we have that whole right side contracted. And then nice and smooth, release down. Allow the head to come back to center. Allow that right hip to come down, nice and slow. And then pause. Do that again. Press that right foot down into the mat. Feel the muscles contract. Right palm faces up, and then draw that right shoulder in, down and in a little bit. Turn the head to the right. And then this time we're going to take the knees and squeeze them together a little bit. And then release everything as you slowly come out of that. So allow the knees to separate. Hip goes down, head comes to center. See if you can allow it all to release at the same time. And then completely let go. Do that one more time, that side. Pressing down into that right foot. Lifting that right hip. Feel the contraction. And then we're going to, right palm faces up. Draw that right shoulder inward a little bit. Head turns to the right. Squeeze the knees together a little bit. And then smoothly release out of that. Nice and slow. And then completely let go. And just take a moment here. If you started with your legs straight, you could extend your legs out. If you started with legs bent, you could keep them bent. So just take a moment and notice what you feel. From the right side, if you did the right side to the left side, if there's any changes, any differences. For example, my right side just feels lower to the ground, feels more open. You might find different sensations. And then we'll bend our legs again, feet flat on the floor. We're going to do the left side. So pushing down into that left foot. Right hip stays down, so it's like a one-sided bridge. Feel that left side contract, knees stay facing upwards. And then nice and smooth, release down. And pause. Do that again. Left foot pushes down. Allow that left hip to lift upward. And this time adding on, we're going to turn the left palm to face up. Press that left shoulder down and in to get more of a contraction there on the whole body, whole side of the left side. Turn your head to the left. And then smoothly release out of that. See if you can really slowly allow the brain to sense the muscles releasing and completely let go. Do that again, adding on, this time left side presses down, right shoulder draws in, head turns to the left shoulder. And then you were going to squeeze the knees together. And then release, nice and slow, coming down, letting everything go in between. Completely let go of all muscular effort in between. One more time, left foot pushes down into the floor. Left shoulder presses down and in towards the spine. Head turns to the left. Knees gently squeeze together. And then smoothly release out of that. Completely letting go. And just pause here and notice what you feel. Again, legs can go long if they started that way, or keep them bent. Just notice how this feels in your body. Bending the legs again. This time imagine that you've taken a clock off the wall and you've placed that clock on your pelvis. So now your pelvis is going to be like a clock. So if you had that clock facing upward, you might imagine that the pubic bone is 12 o'clock, the belly button is 6 o'clock, right hip is 3 o'clock, and the left hip is 9 o'clock. So I'm going to tip onto my tailbone, so tipping to that 12 o'clock. So now my back is arching. And then I'm going to tip to the 6 o'clock, and I'm going to flatten the back into the mat a little bit and tip the tailbone up. Do that one more time that way. Tip to 12 o'clock. Back gently arches. If you're feeling any pain, you want to make the movement a lot smaller. So no pain involved in this. And then flatten the back. Tailbone tips up a little bit. And then come back to center. And then tip to the right hip, so the 3 o'clock, knees stay facing up. Back to center, tip to 9 o'clock. Back to center. One more time that way, 3 o'clock. The pelvis is rocking side to side, but the knees stay facing up. And 9 o'clock. And back to center. Now we're going to tip to 12 o'clock. So that's the tailbone, back arches. Go to 3 o'clock and then go to 6 o'clock. So that's the back flattening. Left hip is 9 o'clock and then back to 12 o'clock. And then relax at center. Now see if you can find all the hands of the clock. So tip to 12 o'clock, that's the back arching. And then a little bit, you're going to 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then come back to center. Do that at your own pace, and you can make the movement as big or small as you like, and allow the pelvis to move through each hand of the clock. Try to see if you can feel each hand or sense each hand of the clock. Not rushing through, taking your time. And then when you get back to center, you're going to go the other way, so anti-clockwise. Notice how there's muscles engaging, muscles releasing as you move through this. Again, knees stay facing up, so it's the pelvis moving. And then just come back to center. And then pause. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale. And then separate or extend the legs if you like, or keep them bent. You started with bent legs, you might want to have them bent still. And then take a moment and notice how you feel compared to the very beginning when you first were here. Notice the hips left to right, the low back, shoulders left to right. And sensing the whole body. Any changes from before to now after doing this movement meditation. And then one last time, bend the knees. This time we're going to bring them in towards the chest, give them a little hug, a little rock side to side. And then rolling over onto one side, just bring yourself slowly up to a seated position. Nice and slow. Take your time. You can sit in a chair or on the floor. Legs can be bent or straight. Let's bring your palms together. We're going to take our palms and rub them together. And then cup the palms over the eyes. Take a nice deep inhale here. You might want to sigh out through the mouth as you exhale. And then this time the palms are going to come together. Thumbs rest at your heart. Slowly opening up your eyes. Thank you for joining me.